Okay, so yes, I'm making another video where it seems like maybe they kind of copied each other again, but also at the same time, maybe not, because it's a little weird. But yeah, so it's kind of just like, did Monster High copy Rainbow High, or did Rainbow High copy Monster High? It's kind of weird, and I'll get into it a bit later more, I guess. But, if you've been in the doll community, like, you probably know of both of these, I guess, doll lines and whatever. Um, but yeah, it's kind of like weird with what's going on. I already kind of made another video a little bit before this where it was kind of like a little sus with, like, something being similar to another thing. I will, I guess, link this video or link that video, maybe like in the end screen of this video or in the description, or there'll be an iCard or something like that, or pinned comment or something, just whatever. You'll probably see an end card or iCard or whatever, because usually I don't really do videos and like descriptions or pinned comments, but usually I'll do end cards and whatever, so you'll probably see it at the end of this video. So when this video is over, you can go watch that one if you haven't watched it. And yeah, so anyways, I guess I'll get into this whole thing of how they seem to have, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Like, obviously it's not really new to do a kind of like trend thing like this, because the Wednesday show is new, or was kind of ended recent, or I guess not ended recently, but like, it came out, it dropped, and everyone watched it and whatever, and yeah, so, it was kind of a big thing, and then I don't know if I really seen that much about it since, like, it was a big thing for a few months, and then, I don't know, it seems like it kinda whatever. But anyways, I guess toy brands and whatever saw this and wanted to get on the trend, I guess. And yeah, so first, I guess I'll go with the one that was posted first, and that is the Monster High one. And they picked Elizabeth and Viperine for this, which a lot of people were saying like it should have been Twyla and Helene, and like Twyla and Helene make more sense because they're actually like friends in the show and the movies and whatever, and like they actually like know each other. I don't know if did like Elizabeth and Viperine ever even meet. I don't even know if they ever even really met at all. Like, do they even really know each other at all? I don't know. And then there's just like a hand statue in the background, which like is supposed to be a thing, I guess, but also it's like it's just a statue, I guess. It's like doesn't really make sense because like he's supposed to be a real flesh hand, not just a statue. So I'm kind of just like, what the fuck? Why is it like that? But also the background is kind of just like, it looks like they did a little art thing, but also at the same time it looks a little like they quickly did it and didn't really do much detail for it, so it's a little like not that interesting. All they did was put some beds there and then the window, and that's kind of it. It's kind of just not that interesting. Else, I think they like just put like PNGs of the characters here, and it's just like, why you just slapped a PNG on there and didn't care at all for like changing the clothes or anything or the hair or any of that. So it's kind of sad that they seems like they quickly did it and just like get it out, like make them a reference and whatever. So it's kind of just like a little, I guess, disappointing, especially when you look at the Rainbow High and Shadow High one. You go over there and it looks like they actually, like, you know, they did a lot with, like, different clothes and, like, the different hairstyles, and they actually gave her the claws over there. She has, like, the stabby werewolf claws. Also, with the Monster High one, like, Howleen would have made sense because she's a werewolf. Just like, what's her name in Wednesday? Like, she's a werewolf. And so it's like, you know, Howleen would have made sense for being, what's her name? I already forgot her name. The colorful one. Like, it would have made sense to make her the werewolf because she's a werewolf. Um, and then, you know, with Thing down there, he's on the floor, and, like, they actually made it so he's a hand, and he doesn't really look like a statue. And they actually gave him the stitching and stuff, so he actually looks like he's, you know, whatever. And, I mean, like, it looks like they just put the dolls, like, on a background that's, like, actually from the show, so it's like maybe they didn't really whatever that much with the background, but at least they kind of, like, you know, I guess used the actual show for it, I guess. I guess they could have used their own stuff for kind of trying to replicate it, but, you know, maybe they just wanted to whatever with the dolls, because maybe it's just like the dolls were enough, because, you know, with all the clothes and the hair and stuff, you know, they're gonna have to whatever. So, yeah, but for the Rainbow High, Shadow High one, it looks like there's a lot more, like, time and effort and care put into this. It looks like they actually wanted to do it, like, right, and, you know, they did the colored hair and the nails and whatever for, like, super colorful one, and then for Wednesday, you know, they did the braided hair and the black and white and all that, and, like, the bangs and stuff, and they actually have Thing there on the floor, and he's, like, walking around and whatever, so, you know, they actually, I guess, wanted to put time into it. And then, like, with the Monster High one, it's just like, hey, here's the characters in their normal outfit, and just slap them on there. And it's kind of like, what the fuck. So, like, but also it's like Rainbow High was, they posted theirs like 3 hours after Monster High, so it's kind of like a little whatever, like, you know, maybe Monster High got theirs out first, and then Rainbow High and Shadow High were kind of like, shit, we gotta get ours out. Like, hurry up. um, so, I don't know, I feel like since Rainbow High, the Rainbow High one is more quality and has more time and effort into it, or at least it looks like it has more time and effort put into it. Like, they probably were doing it, they were making it for the last, like, however many weeks or something, like, however long that this takes to do, and then maybe Mattel saw that MGA was doing that, and then they were like, hurry up, just slap the characters on this background that we quickly made and just get it out there before Rainbow High and Shadow High get it out. And, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if they, like, quickly wanted to do that to get it out before Rainbow High did. And so I'm kind of leaning towards, like, I think the Monster High one, they, like, caught wind that Rainbow High and Shadow High were doing this trend, and then they wanted to get on it before Rainbow High and Shadow High got theirs out. So that's what I'm thinking anyways. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. How, you know, what you guys think happened here. Who copied who. And, you know, whatever. I don't think Rainbow High and Shadow High would get this out within 3 hours after Mattel. Like, I don't think they had 3 hours to do all of this and then get it out after the Monster High post. Like, it would not have taken 3 hours to make this. That, you know, like, that would be kind of impossible to do in, like, just 3 hours, especially with all the edits and time that it takes to get clothes and hair and stuff done. And with Thing, he has the stitching on him too, so it's like, and he doesn't have long nails. Usually it seems like some of the characters have longer nails, and there aren't that many boy characters, so, you know, unless they took it from Ash or something, then, I guess that would have whatever, but they put the stitching on and they did their hair and all of this stuff, like, I don't think that would have taken just 3 fucking hours. So if you think Rainbow High and Shadow High copied Monster High, then you probably don't understand how long this stuff can take. Like, what was it? I think there is some. I think maybe people were comparing like Mermaids to Mermaid High, because I think Mermaid High came out first, and we were like, whatever, we seen it first, and then people were like, oh my god, they copied them or whatever. It's like, no, like this shit takes a long time. Or like when people compare like Paladins to Overwatch, and they're like, oh, they were whatever first, and like whatever game came out first. And it's like, you know how long this stuff takes? Like, they couldn't just like, oh, this game comes out and then all of a sudden it's like 3 months later this other game comes out, and it's like they couldn't create that game within like 3 months. That would be impossible. So it's like comparing the two, like, yeah, they're similar, but like it can't take 3 months to make a game. Or like when people when Descendants 3 came out, or it was going to come out, and like a month before Descendants 3 came out, Cameron Boyce sadly passed away, and he was one of the main characters in Descendants 3, and people were like freaking out, like, oh, how are they gonna do Descendants 3 now? Like, how is he gonna be there? And it's like, the movie's already done. Like, are you fucking stupid? Like, I'm sure these are just kids saying this, but like, even then, like, it takes like a couple years to make a movie. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I'm pretty sure, like, even I as a kid, I probably knew that making a whole ass movie took a while. Like, come on. Like, like, production and getting advertisements and like costume and makeup and hair and all this stuff, it takes time to do. They couldn't do all that shit in 1 fucking month. Like, come on, are you dumb? Like, think for a minute here. So I'm kind of just like, all these. Every time someone says something like that, where they're just like, oh, how they do this within whatever, like, oh, they copied, even though it's like, what? How are they gonna copy when it's just like a little bit of time in between both? Like, they can't do that much within a short amount of time. So, this thing was in production long before we saw it. So it's kind of weird that people are just like quick to be like, oh, it's a copy, or oh, how are we gonna do this thing? Like, bruh, it's already done. It was already done. Like, stop being dumb. Okay, like, if you know anything about like making games or movies or TV shows or whatever, like, it takes a long ass time to do this shit. So for making these pictures and stuff, it probably took quite a bit to do so, especially since like, I mean, the TV show of Wednesday like dropped like how long ago, and so they probably thought about it, and like, when they saw it trending and everyone was talking about it, then they're like, oh, hey, let's do a picture, and like, it took a while for them to get this out. So, that's kind of like whatever. So I'm kind of like, maybe they didn't copy each other, but maybe when Monster High posted theirs, then Ever After High and Shadow High were like, we need to get ours out now, and so it kind of looks like a copy, even though it's kind of like with Rainbow High and Shadow High, it has more time into it, and then Monster High is kind of just like they just slapped the characters on a quick background that was, the background looks like it was quickly made, and then they just slapped the PNGs of the characters on there. So it's kind of like a little sad for them. Like, they didn't change any clothes or hair or anything, so it's a little sad. But yeah, but so like, what do you guys think about this? Do you think Monster High maybe copied Rainbow High? Do you think they heard about them jumping on the trend and so they wanted to also get on that trend? And I mean, makes sense that Monster High would want to get on the Wednesday trend because, with the Addams family, they're always like spooky and like weird and like, they're kind of like little. I mean, I guess they're kind of like monsters in a way because like I'm pretty sure Morticia Addams is a witch because I'm pretty sure her grandma is too. Or like her mom or whatever, I think is a witch, so like then she'd be a witch, I think. I think so anyways, so I don't know. And then they have like Thing, who's, just a hand, and Cousin It, who's just a giant mass of hair. And so, makes sense that Monster High would want to get in on that trend because it's kind of like monstery kind of vibes. And then I guess with Rainbow High and Shadow High, they got the twins characters for the picture and whatever, and they're like complete opposites and stuff like that. So, I guess that would make sense. And then I guess with fashion kind of stuff, with like the clothes and fashion in the show and whatever, so like maybe they wanted to kind of whatever with that too. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like maybe Monster High copied Rainbow High, but I don't know. They could have just had a big coincidence, so yeah. But, what do you guys think? Say it in the comments what you think, and I guess that'll be it for this video, so bye.